Hello friends, today we are going to continue chapter number 2, Cultural Heritage of India, Handicrafts and Fine Arts, lecture number 15. Friends, already in this chapter, we have learned about different types of arts. We were discussing about how these arts have contributed to flourish our Indian culture. This is our invaluable heritage that has been gifted by our ancestors. These ancestors have preserved these arts since a long period. It has been years that this continuity has been followed. Our ancestors have passed these art from generation to generation and flourished it. We have learned in the previous lectures that there are mention of several arts in our Indian literature. Among them, we have already discussed about some of the major arts that flourished in India and made India a proudful nation. Along with it, it stand India into the incomparable position among the other countries of the world. Friends, when we look at the history of India, we see several artisans have taken birth and given their contribution according to their talents and skills. Obviously, their work was very impressive. Their skill and talent is appreciable, due to which they have become well known all over the world. Friends, we discussed about some of the very important arts present in Indian culture which were very ancient, like the clay art, like learning about the spinning and weaving art, then the art of patola, that is pattern of patola. Then we also learned about the different arts like leather industry, diamond and beadwork, aqiq work. Friends, we also discussed about very important art, that is the painting art, in which we discussed that the painting art is one of the supreme form of art. When we are discussing about all these art, it is proved that these all arts have been described through the proper evidences that have been found from the remains at Harappa, Mohenjo-daro and Lothal during the excavation work. Friends, many such evidences of painting were also found. We learned about the example of the cave painting of Bhimbetka in Madhya Pradesh, which was done by the primitive man during the Stone Age. Friends, they used to do the sketch of animals and birds with the natural colors. Friends, this shows their fondness about this painting art. This art flourished since the primitive era. We also learned about the example of the painting of Ajanta and Ellora caves. After that, we also discussed the very important art of India, that is the Indian music. Friends, we got a lot of information about music in our previous sessions. We learned that this Indian music is a combination of tune, rhythm and harmony, sur, tal and lay. It is a proper combination, proper mixture through which this music is performed. Music consists of both singing as well as playing. Friends, we understood that music was not only well known in the ancient time, but you can see that music is also the soul in the present time. Majority of the people of this generation also are fond of music. Music is very helpful for the people to get them out of stress, to refresh them. Lots of people like this music for different reasons. Friends, when we are talking about this music, we understood that in Indian music, it is said in ancient period this was brought from, it is said, the Samved, which is known as the Gangotri of music. Samved, which is known as the Gangotri of music, has given a lot of information about music. Samved, which is one of the four Veds, Rigved, Yajurved, Atharvaved and Samved, in which the ritas about how to enchant the mantras with tune, rhythm and harmony. About that information is given in a proper manner. Friends, after that we learn that in Indian music there are 7 vowels, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha and ni. Along with it, we also learn that there are 2 types of Indian music, classical music and folk music. Friends, again we understood that in the classical music there are 5 rags: Shri, Deepak, Hindol, Megh and Bhairavi. Of these 5 rags, here it is believed, according to the mythology belief, it is said that these rags have been naturally came from the Panchmukh of Lord Shiva. Friends, here it is said that Indian music is flourished through different manners, through different ways. Here classical music and the folk music are performed in a particular manner. So friends, we have a lot of information about this music through different scholars in their book. We also learned about them in the different books. Among them, 3 main books on music were written: Sangeet Makran, Sangeet Parijat and Sangeet Ratnakar. We discussed about, when we were discussing about the well-known book Sangeet Makran, it was written by Narad in 900 BC. In this Sangeet Makran, the information about 19 Vinas and 101 rhythm are given. Along with it, friends, we also discussed that in Sangeet Ratnakar, here it is said that Sangeet Ratnakar was written by Pandit Sarangdev of Daulatabad. We learned that Pandit Vishnu Narayan Bhatkande considered this Sangeet Ratnakar as the most authentic book on music. Along with it, when we have the information about Sangeet Parijat, it is said Pandit Ahabole had written this book, Sangeet Parijat. It is considered as one of the important books to understand the text of Indian music. Here it is said, according to this book, Pandit Ahabole has informed that each rags in Indian music has its own identity and its characteristics. So friends, we have lots of information about Indian music. Today, the topic that we are going to cover is again related to this music. Today friends, we are going to cover the topic that is dance. And as you will know friends, that Nritya, dance, is associated with music. Music and dance, when this combination is present, then it creates an awesome atmosphere. It creates an environment of pleasure and joy for any people. Friends, there are lots of people in the present time as well who are fond of this Nritya. Friends, let us understand about the dance form, the dance art, and we can also consider as Nritya. Friends, here we are learning about the Nritya art, that is the dance art. Here we are learning about the Nritya art, which is also considered as dance art. If you understand, here it is said, Friends, here if we understand what is Nritya. Nritya, as we have all heard this word Nritya. Nritya means it is to dance. Either we can say it is to dance, that is called Nritya, or simply a dance, right? That is considered as Nritya. So this is the meaning of Nritya. Here it is said, the word Nritya has been derived from the Sanskrit word Nrit. Friends, here it is said that this dance form, the word Nritya, the word Nritya, it has been derived from Sanskrit word Nrit. That means this Nritya is considered as has been derived from Sanskrit word. Nrit is a Sanskrit word from which Nritya has been derived. This shows about the information about dance. Here it is said, dance is a contribution in tal and lay. Friends, here it is said, dance is the contribution of dance and lay. That we can consider tal and lay, that is we can consider rhythm and harmony. Here friends it is said that dance is a contribution in tal and lay, which makes this, here it is said, dance is a contribution in tal and lay, which make aesthetic joy for a person. Friends, here it is said, dance is a contribution of tal and lay which makes aesthetic joy for a person. Here it is said that according to the mythology, Lord Shiva is considered as the originator of dance. Friends, here it is said, if we look according to the mythology, as we learned when we were learning about the music, that when we are discussing about music, we learned that according to mythology, music information was brought from somewhere, which was the Gangotri of music. And we also learned that according to mythology, it is believed that this music has been originated from the Panchmukh of Lord Shiva. Same way friend, here when we are discussing about Nritya, it is said that according to mythology, it is believed that Lord Shiva is considered as the originator of dance. Friends, you all might have heard about the well-known dance of Lord Shiva, like Tandav Nritya. You might have heard about the Tandav Nritya of Lord Shiva, which is very known, and it is said that it was this Tandav Nritya, it was this Lord Shiva who brought this form of art, that is dance, from heaven to earth. So according to the mythology, it is believed that Lord Shiva is considered as the originator of dance. So mythology has also informed that this has been brought by Lord Shiva. Here it is said that when we are talking about the originator of dance in Sanskrit. If we talk according to Sanskrit, it is said that Nataraj, which is the other name of Lord Shiv, here it is said in Sanskrit, Nataraj means the originator of dance. In Sanskrit, Nataraj means the originator of dance. Friends, here it is said that Nataraj, which is the other name of Lord Shiv, that means this Nataraj, Lord Shiv, is considered as the originator of dance. And here, the same way, in Sanskrit, Nataraj is derived as the originator of dance, which shows us about the importance of dance by Lord Shiv. Here we can also write that Lord Shiva is known as Nataraj. We can also write over here that Lord Shiva is also known as Nataraj. It is believed that Lord Shiva has brought this art of dance from heaven to earth. Friends, here clearly it is believed that it was Lord Shiva who has brought this art of dance from heaven to earth to teach it to the people, we can say. This it is believed, as we understood in the previous part, that Lord Shiva is considered as the originator of dance. It is believed that Lord Shiva has brought this art of dance from heaven to earth. This art was brought to the earth to teach this art to the people. Friends, here it is believed that this art of dance was brought to the earth to teach this art to the people of not art is earth, to the people of earth. So friends, here now we have clearly discussed about what is Nritya. Here, from the beginning itself, let us take a look again. What is Nritya? Nritya means it is to dance or simply dance. The word Nritya has been derived from the Sanskrit word Nrit. Friends, we also learned that dance is a contribution in Tal and Lay, that is rhythm and harmony, which makes aesthetic joy for any person. When this dance is performed with Tal and Lay, that is with rhythm and harmony, it is said when this dance is performed with Tal and Lay, that is with rhythm and harmony, it makes aesthetic joy, it creates the aesthetic joy for the person. The person enjoys this art in itself. Here again, there is a mythological belief also. Here it is said that according to the mythology, Lord Shiva is considered as the originator of dance. Lord Shiva is considered as the originator of dance. As we learned in the music part, that this music, these rags of Indian classical music, is originated from the Panchmukh of Lord Shiva. Same way, here, according to mythology, it is believed that Lord Shiv is considered as the originator of dance. In Sanskrit, the name Nataraj is also given to Lord Shiv, which means the originator of dance. Lord Shiv is known as Nataraj. It is believed that Lord Shiv has brought this form of art, that is dance form of art, from heaven to earth. Why he brought? Here we say, this art was brought to the earth to teach this art to the people of earth. Means Lord Shiv has brought this dance form of art to earth to teach this dance form to the people on the earth, so that they can also enjoy the aesthetic pleasure of the world. Friends, this was the information about the Nritya art, or we can say dance art. Thank you.